Everything off of it, reset it to factory.
Cupid's been working overtime at Dream Motors. With these sale prices, you'll definitely fall in love with. Dream Motors, located at 445 North Montana Street in Dillon. Give us a call at 406-596-1874. Looking for made in Montana food products? Look no further than Town & Country Foods of Dillon. Cupid's been working overtime at Dream Motors. With these sale prices, you'll definitely fall in love with. Dream Motors, located at 445 North Montana Street in Dillon. Give us a call at 406-596-1874. Cupid's been working overtime at Dream Motors. With these sale prices, you'll definitely fall in love with. Dream Motors, located at 445 North Montana Street in Dillon. Give us a call at 406-596-1874. Looking for made in Montana food products? Look no further than Town & Country Foods of Dillon. Cupid's been working overtime at Dream Motors. With these sale prices, you'll definitely fall in love with. Dream Motors, located at 445 North Montana Street in Dillon. Give us a call at 406-596-1874. Cupid's been working overtime at Dream Motors. With these sale prices, you'll definitely fall in love with. Dream Motors, located at 445 North Montana Street in Dillon. Give us a call at 406 596 1874.
Last time I couldn't remember a long time ago. I was with a group of friends and they were all getting carded. My wallet had been stolen and they
Set up and ready to roll, Christina? Okay.
Oh, thanks. Thanks for everybody else.
Call the meeting in City Council February 16th to order. First agenda, the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
It's coming over the street from everybody's mouth. And then somebody on Zoom might be.
Okay, the first one, approve the February 2nd, 2022 regular meeting minutes.
Move to approve.
Second.
Been moved by Dan, seconded by Diane. Discussion, amendments.
Call for the question.
Question's been called for. All in favor of approving the minutes, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Passed unanimously. Petitions, communications. Got the first one, Mr. Scott Wade from Air Grids. You want to get up and kind of introduce yourself and talk into the mic so they can get you on Zoom? Talking to the world.
To the world. Check, check. Hi, my name's Scott Wade. I run Air Grids down at the Evergreen Center. We've been in business about 2013. We started doing fixed wireless then. Kind of started just solving my own personal internet challenges, and then it grew into a business. And we'd like to talk to you a little bit tonight about our next phase of plans. We've been in business since 2013. We've grown business probably about threefold, fixed wireless and internet broadband. That trickles down, all these different places. We're looking at trying to raise some of those funds. There's a lot of funds specifically in ARPA. There's a state fund that opened up last on the 7th and it closes on April 8th. So we're going to try to apply for some of those grant funds along with other fundraising opportunities in order to help us fund the broadband fiber. There's a lot of areas near the city of Dillon that do not have high-speed internet. High-speed internet, it's download by 25 upload, and ideally they'd like to have 100 both ways. It's very difficult to do that with a fixed wireless solution, which is our traditional solution. It's difficult to do that with if we have service of certain areas in town or near town, and so we communicate with them. So there's a huge demand for high-speed internet. What we're really looking at trying to do at this meeting and from the folks here in the city is kind of a clear methodology to get permits and permitting to allow us to get fiber into the ground. We need to get it, from parts of the city into the near locations, such as Lover's Leap, Fox Run, Blacktail Road. I call it kind of a Taylor neighborhood, which is kind of over by the golf course and north of there. Those folks do not have high-speed internet available to them. So that's what we're looking to provide. So we're looking to get a permitting process and or a memorandum of understanding. We're looking to get hopefully a letter of support that will help us work with other state agencies and other fundraising expertise, and have a kind of a clear way for us to maybe take advantage of projects that come along. For example, I talked with the state because I've heard that they're going to do some work on the Helena Road there, and ideally the high school would like to be able to cross-connect their 3 buildings, and they can't do that today with a straight line. They do that via wireless radio. They'd like to be able to do that with a hard connection. I talked with the state. Unfortunately, they're not doing anything more than kind of grazing the pavement and repaving it, so there's no opportunity there. But there's other projects that are going on. A few years back, too late now, but as an example, there was some work done over on one of the bridges. That would have been an opportunity for us to try to, work with and, to take the opportunity of once there's trenching and digging being done, we'd like to be able to kind of get some conduit in there if it makes sense to do so, and to work with you guys on that, to reduce all of the amount of labor and trenching that would occur. Again, the recent water pipe project was another opportunity. Kind of came late. I didn't know about it. Also, I wasn't quite prepared to invest in it a year ago. But had we been on those types of communications and being able to help and work and plan together, we might be able to take some opportunity to kind of dig once and get all the easements and all that taken care of. So really, I'm looking for a process, go forward, permitting, letter of support, and future planning, collaboration, and synergies to do that faster, better, and cheaper for all of us. Any questions?
Mr. Mayor,
Yes.
I've read your proposal a couple times. What I don't, I guess I think it's wonderful as someone who lived out of town, up on Blacktail
Sure.
and out south of town. I think it's great, the expansion of high-speed internet. I mean, when you live out there, it's not slow, the little thing doesn't even spin. It goes very slow.
Yeah, like a strobe light maybe.
And that would certainly be better for all of those citizens who live in those little townships that we created around Dillon. I guess what I'm concerned about is, it makes perfect sense to have a letter of support and some kind of MOU that says that if there is future, especially breaking up the streets to put conduit down and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
I guess I'm concerned about the utilization of ARPA funds, and what I got is that you'd like to use some city ARPA funds to leverage against the matching.
Yeah, I actually didn't speak of it tonight, but yes, that is in the proposal. I'd like to ask all the government agencies I work with. Some are much more, some see that they may have some opportunity to invest in that infrastructure, and many do not. So I'm not here to beg for the money. If there is the opportunity, though, that there is some potential, some ARPA money that could be allocated to a fiber project, either here at the city, and I've asked the county as well, then yes, I would like to try to get some type of support for that. If if on the other hand there is none, or you have other priorities, I understand, those are your decisions. But yes, if there's any amount that can help, because a little bit, to match $1, I'm going to get $4. If I only got $1, I'm only going to get $4. If I only got $10,000, I can only ask for $40,000 for the current Connect Montana grant that's going on.
I think that's a great strategy for utilizing those funds. There's also some other funds at the state level that could be used for matching funds for especially fiber optic. What I'm concerned about is that I'm not sure I want to ask the question, is it appropriate for us to use city ARPA funds to expand service to those citizens living outside of the city of Dillon? Is that a more appropriate, is it something that the county should do more appropriately with their ARPA funds?
When he came to visit with myself and Todd, the reason we came here, because we knew eventually it was going to have to come back here and go to a committee. Because my big idea, a lot of these questions we should send this to one of our committees, and then that committee can start having Mr. Wade over to get some of these answers. Because it's going to involve, you're laying fiber in the streets, so we're going to tear up streets and everything else. So the committee needs to get with him and start putting exactly what the city's gonna have to get involved with. So we could sit here and have a 4-hour discussion on, it's a big topic, it's just not and that's what it is. I thought that why we invited him here is have it kind of listen to the council, what he's proposing, and send it to one of our committees. Is what my big plan was, I guess. Yes.
So which committee are you?
I was looking at street and alley because I know it's gonna involve lots of streets and alleys to get from the Evergreen Center out of town. But I don't know if anyone would have a better idea if the city hall wants to tackle it because they deal the whole thing, or it's kind of open to discussion what committee you guys might think best fit in.
Probably a street and alley because of the amount of damage it's going to occur and the costs involved in doing that. Now, were you talking, Mr. Wade, were you talking about digging up the street and laying some lines, or are you talking about just laying lines as the opportunity comes along the open streets?
The former. So in order for us to take advantage of, being able to get funds to meet deadlines and to get fiber to those people, we will have to not just wait for opportunities, but we will have to also start putting in lines, as soon as possible. So much like utilities, that have easements and are able to put in phone lines and, cable for internet and TV, we're looking for that same type of, what those requirements are for us to repair the streets, only where we need to. So by design, I'd rather not spend time and money digging up a street, but there's certain areas that you can't get around it. So what I'm looking at is, the permission, working with whoever knows the areas and what's coming down the pipe and what makes the most sense based on city needs and what I'm trying to do. I had a great conversation with the county because I'm looking to get Lover's Leap, and I'm thinking, well, if I can get across, I'm working with the DOT as well, so I have those permitting processes already started. Thinking about, well, it's logical to look at getting over the road over there, where the rocks are, and after talking to the county, it's like, well, we were only able to get over there by dynamiting the place. It's like, well, okay, that's not where I want to go. So there's a lot of knowledge that that the city and the county has that can help me, make a better decision and minimize the amount of, it won't be zero, but it will minimize the amount of, destruction and repair. I mean, we do have to repair it, so yes, there will be a cut. Yes, if it just got paved and I have to go in there and there's approval, then yeah, it's going to be a little bit of a visual, but we do have to repair those, and I already got some of those requirements, so I understand that, and we're happy to do that piece of it. And obviously, where there's dirt and alleyways, that's going to be our preferred method, but we can't get everywhere in alleyways and whatnot. And we have to get across the highway as well, and that's going to be definitely some boring to do all that. So that's that aspect. Yes, if we can figure out what right committee is appropriate to work with us on the permitting process and any other issues. And Mary Jo, not to answer your question, but a data point I think I'd like you to, all the members to consider is, yes, the city of Dillon proper seems to have Spectrum available to it, and Spectrum is your only vendor other than the new Elon Musk Starlink satellite system, is the only vendor that you can actually get high-speed internet from. CenturyLink does not qualify. They do not give high-speed internet service to anybody from Dillon. So if it's not coming from myself or Greg Lennerson from Bridgewave or Spectrum, you don't have it. So you may be I don't know exactly where the city stops and ends in all the little pockets. So you may have that availability. You may have areas in the city that don't have high-speed access. I'm not exactly sure. It's not a huge community, but I'm sure there's pockets of areas that do have that. The point I would make is, yes, we need to get fiber out to that community, so permitting seems to be a logical way. As far as spending your own funds to help, well, maybe it's a small percentage, or maybe you would like to have some competition. I know a lot of people who only have Three Rivers up in Twin Bridges or only have Spectrum are frustrated with that company and they even buy slower internet from some of us because they hate dealing with the big corporate company. So it might behoove your citizens to have options of other potential internet service providers, and that money might be spent locally, like with our business. And for as we know, every dollar that's spent locally typically ends up into another six-fold being spent locally. They get paychecks, they spend it here, it gets reinvested in the community. All the money going to Spectrum, it's gone. It's out of the city, never coming back. So something to consider.
How much money are you talking for this whole project?
It's a multi-year project. And I don't have, I have a plan and I have some projections. If I had, $5 million sitting here to match, I would ask for that because we could get, City Dillon, which is all that, the city cares about necessarily and close community members, but there's many other opportunities and pockets, not just in Dillon, that have the exact same issue. So we would ask for as much as we could get in order to get projects in place there. It's not one number necessarily. To get started, we're looking at, if we had a total base of all of our fundraising, somewhere between $250,000 to $500,000, then we could get, close to $1 million. We can, that can get us to these nearby communities, within our own resources. The more money you have, we can bring in, bigger machines and crews to get it done faster. The less money that we have, then, we're gonna be out there and, whittling away at it basically. So, if we don't get all the big money, then, there's gonna be some amount done no matter what. And the core areas that I'm, so we're based in the Evergreen Center, so that's where my fiber comes in. There's opportunities to get some fiber on the west side and many other areas as well. But that's where we're starting. So from the Evergreen Center, we got to get out towards Lover's Leap and start spreading that way. We need to go north of town here. We need to go east up Sweetwater, and we need to get down to Blacktail. So those are, and then ideally Kerrigan Lane, because we'd like to have a loop. If we can have a loop, so that there's more redundancy. So it's hard to answer as like how much you ask them for it. It's the more we have, the bigger those projects can go and faster. The less we have, well, we're starting here and we're moving out.
So basically what you'd like to have is $1 million to start.
Yeah, if we could get $1 million total, right, with all the funds, that would be helpful. I have project plans to do that we could do $5 million and really tackle it in a few years, and even expand up towards, not that this county cares, but Whitehall has a tremendous problem. They don't even have Spectrum sitting there, so that's another opportunity that we service. We have a partnership up there, and we service, we help each other out. Do another company that does a similar thing that we do down here, and so we're looking at expanding up there as well. But
Thank you.
that's outside of you. So hopefully that helps.
It does. If you need any of those resources,
I do.
state funding, I'd be happy to.
Yeah, I've spent a lot of time, hitting a lot of dead ends, so I'll take any help I can get. So I would definitely be happy to get some more help from you. Sorry, go ahead.
I would make a motion that we move the assignment to the street and alley committee.
I'll second that.
Okay, I have a motion by Raymond, seconded by Mary Jo to send air grids to the street and alley committee. All in favor? All opposed? It passes unanimously. I'll get you the information for Mr. Wade and stuff to the street and alley committee members, so you can get working on it.
Thank you very much. Hopefully I can speak.
Next petition and communication, you'll see from Premier Plumbing, it's an estimate to fix the boiler down in the basement here. Needs to get a motion to approve the $1,750 so they can start ordering parts.
I've got a question.
Yes.
Mr. Mayor. How big of a project does it take before we go out for bids?
Actually, we need a motion of approval before we're supposed to start talking about it.
Move to approve.
Second.
It's been moved by Mary Jo, seconded by Dan.
Now I'll ask a
Discussion.
question.
Okay. Oh, I don't know what it is exactly.
25,000? It's something like that, if I recall.
It was 80,000.
80,000?
Yes.
I think it was a pretty big project.
General things within working days, $600. So if somebody comes in, water department,
the mayor and myself have the right to, or have, can approve things less than $600.
But you don't see those till after the fact.
Excuse me?
You said you don't see those until after the fact. You already bought them by the time you see them.
What, yes and no, depending on the amount of the money. But with this, we've been having boiler problems for the last couple of years, and we're nickel and diming ourselves at this point, and this would really take care of the condenser the condensing tank that we're struggling with.
Is this a steam system, Todd, or hot water?
It's hot water.
And the city crews will build the stand for the
Yes.
new? Okay.
I don't find.
Probably the
It's maintenance.
maintenance into
repairs.
buildings.
City hall maintenance?
I think it's, I've looked in there, it looks like it's in the budget.
Is he really gonna take 180 days to complete it though? That sounds like the boiler's down for a long time if that's the case.
You know, I don't know if Jason gave me this. I don't know if it should take him that, because it's more of the condensing tanks. More, take the two out there and replumb the condensing tanks back in there. So, it's probably a generic statement, I bet there, but, you know, before we proceed, we'd make sure, because 180 days, it's gonna be.
That was one thing that stuck out to me. The price doesn't seem bad for what he's gonna do.
Mr. Hand?
Yes.
I had the Man Cornell boys working for us several times, and I trust them. They're excellent. They start a job and they stay until they complete.
Yeah, I've had him work for me and had very good luck with him too, to be honest. But I was just concerned about 180 days on a commercial project. A public building on top, that just didn't sound good to me.
I'll get clarification on it from Jason to talk to the.
I suspect they're giving themselves 180 days to get the parts to get it done.
We've never had any problems with their work here, that they come in and they get it done and they're out. So I would see them coming in, starting it, and
Dragging it out, huh?
leaving us and counting the days up. We got 4 more days to, they do excellent work for us.
I think that needs to be clarified because they're asking for a written and signed change order. All change orders seem to be expensive.
Yeah. Okay, I'll get it and get it back to the council next meeting, probably then.
Or is it possible to approve this evening with, if the work will be completed within 15 days or something, 15 working days?
I guess the question too is how fast can our city shop provide stand?
Pretty dang quick.
I bet they can.
Well, they're still trying to get a basketball backboard up for 2 years now.
Well, some things take priority over that basketball.
Or set a date, you want it finished by the end of July 31st or something, put an
Yeah.
ending date on it, it has to be complete.
Well, I think all we're asking for is clarification as to what this means.
180 days. Put him first and citizens request second. Okay. So, Kevin Johnson from Dow, our water people.